Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. For those of you new to my channel, welcome, and make sure you click the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when I do new videos. I do Cricut Design Space tutorials every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. No, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. 11 a.m. Eastern. Thank you, everyone who's here. We usually come here about 30 minutes ahead of time and start chatting in the chat section on YouTube. Although it's been getting earlier and earlier, we come hang out and chat with one another. I do take questions during my live classes. I do take phone calls during my live classes. Some of my Patreons and YouTube members do have a phone number to call in. So if you need to call in with a question, that's okay too. Today we're going to talk about fonts and doing stencils. And then we'll also take any questions about anything in Design Space also. And today is a double feature at 12:30. That's about 30 minutes after this class. I'm doing something new. So I'm going to have some of my subscribers and my supporters on. There'll be 3 other people with me live in the video, and we're going to learn about them. So please stay after the video, come back, have a little lunch, potty break, and then come back about 30 minutes later. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. And I lost my chat. There we are. Okay, let's get to Design Space. Hi, everyone. So we've had this question a lot, and I've done a video on it, but it's been a few years, and it was in the old Design Space. So I thought I would do it again. I'm not even going to spell out a word. I'm just going to hit some of these words that have a middle in them so we can learn how to keep the middle. Let's do a Q too. Do a Q. Probably not the most popular letter. And you can do this with different fonts. Actually, if you want a stencil font, there are stencil fonts that you can download. You can search stencil fonts. This one would be a stencil font. There are no middles to this one. This is called 3 Birds on Parade. It's a Cricut font. But I'm going to show you how. Why do I take so much time? This is a fun one. Thank you, Bobby, for reminding. Put questions in caps so that I can see them better. Now, these are the stencils I'm talking about are stencils with paper or well, they don't even have to be stencils with paper. They can be a project that you want to put one piece of paper down. You don't want to glue in the middles of the letters and things like that. So that's what we're talking about. If you do it with vinyl, you don't really need to do this. If you're cutting a stencil out in acetate or that hard plastic stencil material, this will help you. So you don't have to worry about the little middles. Yes, you can cut a butterfly as a stencil. I have some videos on making stencils. After I do this, remind me and we'll throw a butterfly up there and see what we can do with that, with maybe like the middles of the butterfly. Okay, let's just try this. We're going to use this font. We're going to hit shapes. We're going to hit square. Yes, if you have the expression, it does not use Design Space or any computer program. So what we're doing is, I'm going to zoom out for you. We're going to make this really thin. Okay, so this is a rectangle. It was a square, and I just sized it thin. Let's see what the exact size is. It's 0.014 wide by 0.479. This is not official. It doesn't have to be this. You don't have to come back to the video and make sure it's the same as mine, because you just do it whatever you want to do. And then we're going to duplicate this. If you're like me, you want to duplicate it many times. And it's really small. Okay, we're just going to grab one. We're going to pull this down. And we want to keep the middle of the A. So you can really do this any way you want. Oh, let me send this to the back. Oh, it is in the back. Okay. Let's make this another color so we can see better. And you can put it right in the center, but I like to kind of do it right along the edge. I'm going to make it a little thicker. That's turned too much because it's going into this letter here. I have this up 200%. Okay. My mouse doesn't want to work. I'll make it a little fatter. And now I'm going to slice. If I would have ungrouped this or attached this, it would not slice. But because I have not done that, okay, I'm going to send this to the back so I can grab this little thing right here. Why can't I grab that? Okay, I'm gonna Oh, do you know why I can't grab that? Because it's not there. That's the cut line. I grabbed that out. I didn't make it thick enough. Let's make the letter bigger. And now because I sliced this, it won't let me ungroup it. Let me add another, because that is not making sense at all. Okay, these little things are to slice out the middle. So that's what the rectangles are for. I'm going to make it a little wider because that was too thin. This one is 0.167. I'm like, that has never happened to me before. Move to the back. So you have to make a shape to slice out a line to keep the center. There. Does that make sense? Let me zoom in. Can you see that line there? Yeah, I tried to ungroup on this. There's no group or ungroup on this one. I'm just going to get rid of that one. And these lines should be good, but because I was zoomed in so much, I was thinking they were bigger than they were. Okay, let's add some more text. I want to do the Q. I don't know why. Here's a B, a D. We'll ungroup it. Now you can make little lines. Let's move this to the front. Little curved lines if you need to, like here. I want to make that thicker. I don't think that's thick enough. And the reason I don't think it's thick enough is it's too intricate, I think. I've never done a Q. So you're just slicing. So in order to slice, you can only have 2 layers sliced. And when you take these off the mat, you have to be very careful because this is connected here. So you may want to make these bigger. When I do letters like this B and D, let's duplicate this. I like to do it so the letters match here. Lisa's asking, why do we need to slice? What we're trying to do is make this so when we cut this out of paper, okay, let me try to explain. Let's get rid of these pieces. When we cut these out of paper, we want them to keep the middle of the letter. And I completely understand not everyone's understanding what I'm doing. Okay. Now I cannot take these 3 and slice. It won't let me because there's too many. If I want to slice this out, I can weld these 3 together. Watch what it does in the layers panel. See the B, Q, and A? They're all selected because they're darker gray. I'm going to weld them. That makes them all one image, one piece. So I can take that one layer, click on this back layer, or just draw a box around it, and now I can slice. So if I was making a stencil, this could be my stencil. Say I was making this out of acetate or a plastic material, and I'm going to lay this down and use inks or paints or something on it. It will keep the center A. Without that, A, B, Q. Let me do the same thing again. Without that, the center is not connected to this piece at all. So that center will not be there. So the reason to keep the middle is if we're doing stencils and we want to cut this out. Does that make sense? Or if you want to pop it up, you can pop pieces up of paper and keep the middle. Or you're cutting something out of paper for a birthday card and you want to keep the middle. Yeah, you can use this technique on anything. So, do you guys now understand what I mean by making stencils? But it doesn't even have to be stencils. You can make a paper project and not want to deal with gluing in the little middles if you're not doing just the solid letter like this. Okay, let's make something. You know what? Let's just start a new design. Okay. Oh, wait, let's do a square. We are going to do, I don't like that dark gray color. Let's pretend we're going to do a card front. What is that? Cut and copy. So I want it 5.5. Well, actually a little smaller than the 5.5. By about 4. And we're going to do happy birthday. And we're going to add a butterfly. And we're going to center. Okay, I want to slice this out of here and I want to keep all these centers. So what I'm going to do is make a small rectangle. And I want to duplicate it a few times. So I'm going to put this, let's zoom in. Let's change the color. And I'm going to slice that. Whoops. Get these out of the way. I'm going to slice this here. Okay, instead of doing all of these, let me show you what the difference is now. Let's go back to normal size. Let's actually, I'm going to move this to the top. Align, center horizontally, and we're going to slice. So let's take this away, take that away. I don't want to delete it, but so now this P will have the center, but this one won't. So if we cut this out of paper to put on a card, we would have to glue these centers back on the card. There is a line tool in Design Space. The score line. you can change the score line to cut. You can change any image, any text, any line to cut, write, score, or print. So you could add this line, maybe, but it's so thin. You could add this line to cut, but it's too thin to hold the center. It's just a cut line. It would not be the gap. You need to have a gap here. See that gap? A cut line will just cut it, but you actually need the gap. Yeah, there is a stencil font. You can search stencil fonts, and there are some in Cricut that are like that, like the one I showed you. But I was shown how to make it out of any font. And we're going to search butterfly. Thank you, Julie. So somebody wanted butterfly. Let's try this one. This is from Anna Soray Lettering. Let's hide the background. So say you wanted to make this into a stencil. Let me think for a second. Let me move all this up here. I'm going to slice this. So if you wanted to make this a stencil, you can see it will cut this out. So you'll have a solid one, but all these little pieces, there's no way you're going to place all those, especially if you cut it out of acetate. So what I would do, let's move this off to the side. Let me just get rid of that one. We want to keep some of these inner pieces. So unlock the square. And you know what? Let's make a rounded shape. Do you guys want to learn how to do that? Because that was something different. Instead of just a rectangle, you could make a round shape. Let me show you what I'm doing. See, 2 circles. Can you see the one underneath? I'm going to take those both and I'm going to slice. Now we have this piece. We have this piece. Now that's the same color as the butterfly. It's not what I want. I want to show you the difference. Let's turn off the things here. Actually, I could maybe do something like this. I'm going to slice this through here. Now you guys are just seeing me do this for the first time. Wait. There we go. Let's see what happens. Whoops, we got too much connected. Too much. See, we have all these other things selected. I'm just going to click this, click Command or Shift, and then click that, and it selects them both. Bye, George. Now, when we slice this through, all these pieces that this is going through is going to stay. Let's test it. Let's get rid of these down here. Do you guys hear snoring? That's the puppies. Okay, let's slice. Kind of looks like a smiley face in there. So now, and you don't have to go through it like I did here. You can do just little pieces and make them all connect differently. Oh wait, we want to, here it is. Now these, all these black pieces are going to connect, so they'll all stay there if you're doing a stencil. Does that make sense? And I could have done smaller lines too. Let me bring that butterfly back in. Hide the background. I could have just sliced this. Now those pieces will be there. And because this piece right here, this inner white piece here, is connected all the way through here, we can connect from that piece. Let's make it a little longer. And now we can slice that. And now, because that's connected here, these pieces will be there. And then we could add another break right in here to keep this piece. And then we could even go over here and get these pieces too. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does kind of look like a scary, like a skull type butterfly, doesn't it? It looks like a smiley face. Ronald, thank you so much. Ronald, you're awesome too. Does anybody want me to try it with a different image or a certain letter or anything? Have you guys learned something so far, or are you completely confused? See, puppy cam, they're sleeping and snoring. So I don't see any questions. Family. Could you use it as a 2-layer stencil? Yeah. The capital B does have to be cut in 2 places. Great question. Somebody wanted me to do the word family. I'm just going to open up new project. Adonis is completely confused, but this will be the 2nd time using the machine. Yes, that smiley face cutout will stay in the image. So that's why you do not have to do that. I just wanted to show that you could. Yes, split monogram stencil. I have a video on that. It's in the really old design space when slice was actually first introduced. Okay, the word family, the only one that needs it is the A. So we're gonna start over. So those of you that are confused, this is to make a stencil, so the middle of the part will cut out as one piece because we're cutting out it as a stencil. It's hard to explain. But we're not keeping these letters, we're keeping the outer piece. So I need to angle this the same angle as this. At least that's how I like to do it. You can do things any way you want to. Let me zoom in so we can see better. Line that up with the A. You only need it as big as the little line there. And I have it too. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to select it all. I dragged my mouse over both of them and they're both selected, and I go down to the bottom and click slice. Now this is just a word. Let's get rid of this. Done with that. Now, if we want to make this a stencil, actually, I would move the letters closer together, but because we already sliced, we can no longer do that. So we're just going to pretend this is exactly how we want it. And we're going to make it a stencil now because they're asking how does it become a stencil. So I'm going to drag this across, select it all. I have both ones selected, the box and the family, and I'm going to slice. So now this piece right here is a stencil. I can cut this out. Okay, I would delete that, but I can cut this out of acetate, or there's plastic stencil material. And you have a reusable stencil. You can use it many times. You just lay this on something. You can hold the corner of it, and you can put paint or ink or sprays over this, and then lift up the box. I'm just going to cancel and go back. Lift up this box, and you'll have the word on your paper, on your project, or on your wood in whatever you put on it, paint or spray or that type of thing. Does that help make sense? Thanks, Diana. Oh, Ronald, great idea. He says stencils are good for Christmas, to put a stencil on your window and spray snow on it. Thank you, Diana Clarkson. Okay, I'm going to go back. Do you have a real life one to show? Oh, no, I don't. Do you guys want me to cut it out? Yes, the Cricut Explorer 2 does cut acetate. You do not, oh. Okay, Betsy has a great question. Do I mirror the image for Windows? Well, if you're cutting it out of plastic or acetate, there's no need to mirror it because you can just turn over the stencil. You can just turn it whichever way you need to. If you're doing vinyl and you're using transfer tape to transfer it over, there's no need to do this. You could just do it with the letters. If you're using vinyl and you don't want to use transfer tape, you want to use it all in one piece, like you could pick this up with your fingers and place it anywhere. You would not need transfer tape. So if you don't like to use transfer tape, then this is a way you can do it with vinyl. Stencil out of vinyl is not usually reusable because of the stickiness. You can try. If it's not real sticky or you're putting on something not real sticky that it sticks to very well, could possibly. Joan says it's great that you're catching on, better than catching a cold. Okay. I'm gonna cut it. My machine is blinking. Let me turn it off and on because I only cut part of a project. Okay, I'm gonna go. My desk is a mess because I have not cleaned it up after I did my live video yesterday on Facebook with the emoji punch board. Cricut does have stencil vinyl. I buy my acetate from Cricut or Amazon. They have Cricut clear stencil on Amazon, or you can use the foil acetate. There's also stencil material. What is acetate? Okay, here's some acetate. This is a scrap piece of acetate. See how I've cut it? Let me see how this is gonna go on the mat. I'm gonna click make it. Oh shoot, let me delete these. Okay, now I'm gonna click make it. You know what, I'm 3 inches. Oh, yeah, it's 3 inches. I didn't know if my acetate was big enough. So I'm gonna click continue. It's gonna get my maker. I'm gonna set material. Do I have acetate on here? Yes. Acetate. I always do more pressure. I do more pressure for about everything I make. And then my machine is blinking. You can see my messy desk. Here, want to see the real messy desk? That's from when I was playing last night with the emoji punch board. And I'm just using my fine point blade, my premium fine point blade, which I think needs to be changed. Or I changed it. I don't remember which color of housing I changed it in. Yes, it can be done on the Cricut Air. It can be done on any of the Explore machines. Let me see if I can get you a link to the clear acetate. Here in the chat is a link to the acetate on Amazon, the Cricut acetate. You get 6 12 by 12 sheets. Mary, it might be hard to cut through the mat. You'd need to use the knife blade. And I wouldn't really recommend it. Okay. Okay, here's my mat. Okay, now let me take out this letter A. Didn't get that corner of the M out. Right, there we go. Oh, I just can't see. I'm just ripping the letters out. So, can you see the letter A? It has the middle piece. There, can you see it there? See the letter A, how it has the whole piece now? If we didn't slice that little slice there, it would not be like that. This whole triangle would be gone. Does that make sense? Let's finish. If we did not use this tiny little slice here, this whole middle section would be gone. It would be a big hole right here. Okay, put paper behind it. Put glitter paper behind it. Do you see? Where's it at? Here, this whole piece would be gone. Is it making more sense now? Thank you, Ronald. The moderators are great. Everybody in the chat is great. We got people asking questions, which is great, because without the questions, we don't learn as much. Yes, Jason, the projector transparent sheets can also be used as stencils. Can you show how to draw and cut the same image? Yes. Okay, Molly's asking, why did you cut the A? Wouldn't it cut normally? If I did not put that little piece there, I sliced this here. Can you guys see? That little piece, if we did not slice it, let me show you what would have happened. So I'm going to take away the little piece I sliced. And it would look like that. See how that is all empty there? It's like missing the intersection of the A. If we did not slice, that's what would happen. Shirley's asking, why do you always use extra pressure when cutting? I want to make sure it cuts. That's why. No, it's the opposite. It would, when I say gone, I mean that little piece I cut out is not there. It would not have that middle section. If you don't understand what I mean, so try this at home. Try it with just paper, just cheap paper. Do an A and then add another A. Cut out the little slice of the A and cut them both and look at the difference. But slice them both through a square or a shape of any kind. If you slice them both, you'll see the difference. Okay, all right, you guys are getting it now. Okay, cutting it out helped it. All right. Yeah, you can use transparency like a copy machine. Okay, I got 10 minutes left. Somebody asked about writing and drawing, or cutting out and drawing in the same image. Okay, I'm going to search draw. Or I could just go to Jen Goody Designs. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to J Goody. She draws almost all of her images. Okay, so she has writing on her images. This is writing. This is writing. Every other one you see here is writing. Even the pumpkins are writing. See, these are writing. So you can do this as it is. Let's ungroup and I'll spread them apart so you can see them. So that's not writing. This has writing on it. We can detach. To take the writing off, we have to detach. Let's take this away. So see, this is the writing that goes with this. Just move these over here. This one has writing, so I'm going to detach to show you the writing. As long as it's attached, you have writing. So these already have it on there. So let's go to New. And I'm going to show you how to add your own. We're going to make this like a light color. And we're going to duplicate this. And I'm going to change this to right. This is not the proper way if you want to do writing to make it right. But I can put that right up there and attach it, and it will write right on the cut lines. Oh, let's do something different though. Okay, wait. Let's do a shape. Change the color. Okay. Bring that in the front so we can see it. Whoops. I made it go to the back. Okay, so if we want this to write on here, here's a thing so many people do by mistake. They select them both and they group it. There's no reason to do that. It does look like it's going to cut that way. If you have any question, please just click on Make It to see what happens. This is the writing. It's not writing on my circle. So we're going to hit cancel. I'm going to ungroup it because there's no reason to group it. All you have to do is select them both and attach. That is how you write and it will cut this at the same time. We click Make It, and it's writing on top of that circle. Does that answer your question? Teresa, right, on the stencil, the slice connects the middle of the letter so it stays attached. And yes, you can use a deep cut blade if you like. How do you get an Explore Air to cut twice without ejecting the mat? As with any Explore machine or Maker machine, any machine, you just click this button again, the C button. This button will be blinking. It wants you to unload the mat. Ignore the blinking, click the C button. Sometimes you have to click it twice. So you would just click it twice to get that one. Do you guys see, where's it at? Right there? Those are Halloween costumes for the dogs. I already shared them on Facebook and Instagram. Just saying. All right, guys, are there any last minute quick questions? We are going to be doing another video in about a half an hour. I'm going to be spotlighting some other crafters and supporters for you to meet. Deborah's saying hers would not. I'm thinking you're hitting the C button. Just hit it again. I think sometimes you have to hit it and then you have to hit it again for it to actually cut twice. How do you bring letters together? Oh, let me show you real fast. We have these letters, hello. You click on letter spacing right here where my mouse is circling. And just the down arrow. See how they're going together? I show this in many, many, many of my classes. The stand I have my maker on, I bought in the year 2000 from Staples. It's a printer stand. They don't have them anymore. But you can get other things like that from Walmart in the kitchen area. The white wire stands. All right, guys, thank you so much. We will be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. for another class. If you want me to show you something specific, let me know. The next video is not Patreon only. The next video is for everybody. But it is a Patreon spotlight. So I'm spotlighting some of my Patreon supporters so you can learn more about them because They're pretty awesome and they do more things. So it's a new perk for the people who pledge $15 or more. They can be in a spotlight video. And it's more or less kind of like an interview, and they tell us about themselves and about what they do. And I just think it's fun to learn about other crafters. Yeah. Rewatch this video and do it along with me. That's the best thing to do. You can pause it, do your thing in Design Space, and then watch the video again. That's the best way to learn. Just watching and then trying it next week isn't going to help you because you're not going to remember how and you're going to miss a step. So please do it as I do it in the video. Now, maybe not as I'm doing it live. Watch it first and then go and try it and watch the video again along with yourself trying it. Oh, I forgot to play my song. And I have shout outs. Here's a shout out to a few of the people who support my channel on Patreon. And I don't Glenda, Charmaine, Sue, Lori, Lena, Lisa, Huntress Habits, Teresa, Tammy, Catherine, Denise, Lori, Liana, Dawn, Kathy, Merritt, Michelle, Stephanie, Amy, Susan, Nancy, Jen, Brittini, Alicia, Karen, Christy, Susan, Johnny, Angela, we will be on YouTube. Letitia, Margaret, Patricia, Allison, Beth, Christine, April, Melissa, Darlene, Lisa, Tammy, Nicole, Denise, Bianca, Samantha, Patricia, and Dale. Thanks, guys. And here's a shout out to a few of the people who co-sponsor my video. Thank you guys so much. All right, thanks, guys. I haven't played my song because I forgot. That's why. All right, guys, I will see you in 30 minutes. Love you and see you next video. Bye.